Hey everyone, I'm the Clay Alchemist here at the Mercurial Moxie, where I craft unique, one-of-a-kind clay sculptures. In this video, I'll be sculpting a great white shark that I call Finality amongst the Fronds. Let the alchemy begin. I started this project by making an armature off camera using aluminum foil, blue painter's tape, and 20 gauge aluminum wire. Now that we have the main body of our armature done, we're going to be adding sheets of clay that have been run through a pasta machine on the thickest setting. We'll be adding our head and tail later on. Now it's time to make some teeth. Now that I have all the teeth made, I'll go ahead and put them in the oven to bake. It's easier to add teeth to the gums if the gums are soft and the teeth are already hardened in the oven. Now I'll just go ahead and repeat the process for the lower jaw. Now that we have both of the jaws on the shark, we can start adding more key features to the face. I'm using the teeth as a guide in order to get the eye placement correct on both sides, or at least close. Now I'm just using an everyday household sponge to add some texture. This texture will really stand out once we start adding our tone washes. This will be the first time that I'm trying to do a faux bronze. Now it's time to go ahead and add the tail piece. I added the smaller fins on the bottom off camera. Now it's time to decide where I'm going to add the armature so that I can attach the shark to the base. I end up changing my mind, but it's not a big deal because I just fill the hole with clay and bake it again. The shark was actually getting so big that it was hard to keep the entire thing in frame. I just did a swim by for you. Now I'm just mixing up some 2-part epoxy so that I can lock that dowel into place that our shark is going to rest on. Next, I'm going to be working on the seaweed fronds. I make each one of those individually and add them to the clay on the base. This project actually took about 2 months to make, so that's why I've been MIA, for those of you that noticed. So many leaves were made because I was adding them under the shark, but also to the longer branches that will be surrounding the shark. Next, I'm going to make a little slurry of sand and Mod Podge. I'm going to add this to the base. If you've been on the channel for a little while, you've seen me do this more than once. After this dries, I'm going to come back and add more so that I can add the wave pattern in the sand. Now I'm just going to be giving everything a coat of black, including the shark. I made a few rocks to go in the scene, as well as a sand dollar that I think turned out pretty cute. Now it's time to add the bronze. I'm doing that with a small sponge. I think I'll let you guys enjoy the music and watch me paint for a bit. Next, I'll be adding the strong tone wash and the verdigris. what seems to work best is going back and forth between adding layers of verdigris paint and then painting over that with thinner and thinner applications of the strong wash. That really starts to give it an antique bronze kind of look, which I happen to like. Now we're in the home stretch, and this is the last step. This is 3-to-1 varnish and MSA solvent, and this really brings out the richness of those metallics. As a side note, this is the first time that I've actually worked with tone washes, and I had them all sitting on my desk. I got about 10 of them in the mail, and at some point I retched for sepia tone instead of strong tone, which in my opinion gives it a little bit more of an antique brass look rather than bronze, but I'm not mad at it. I actually kind of like it a lot. I just wanted to clarify that just in case you may have noticed the shift from sort of brownish bronze to more yellow undertone, right? Let me know what you think of my creation in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I share new creations regularly. Stay creative and keep shaping a little magic.